Hi there, this is Simon from writtenlegalenglish.com and welcome to this video where I'm going to continue talking about the typical mistakes people make when they're learning legal English, because it's very easy to think that legal English is simply vocabulary. However, learning legal English effectively and using legal English effectively is very much more than simply learning vocabulary, and this particular video looks at that in a little bit more detail, as this is error or mistake number 6, which is don't do things in the wrong order. But just before I get started, if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, make sure you click on the link below this video to go and check out my blog, which looks at 8 different legal English learning mistakes you might be making. If you're watching this on my blog page, good work, let's continue. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to learning legal English is thinking that legal English is just a pile of vocabulary. That it's vocabulary I have to learn in specific areas. So if it's mergers and acquisitions, I've got to learn the terms, I've got to learn the legal collocations, I've got to learn the legal prepositions, I've got to learn the words because the words are important. And unfortunately, lots of legal English courses and lots of legal English course books help support this idea. It is effectively, here is a long list of words, learn these words and you will know legal English. But of course, this is the wrong way to learn legal English. It's also, in many ways, supports the wrong skill set that you have to learn, because if you're learning, it means that you're reading, and very often it means that you are producing. But lots of course books, in terms of that productive language skill, is all about speaking. So it's okay, learn the vocabulary, now let's have a negotiation because we need to repeat that vocabulary. Sadly, or rather the sad truth is that the most important skill set that a lawyer needs is their ability to write. And it doesn't matter if you are a native speaker or a non-native speaker, writing is key. Not me that said this, it's Brian Garner, one of the most important and influential people in the world of plain language. He said over 90% of a lawyer's work is effectively writing. So if this is your most important skill set, this is what we have to focus on. We have to focus on our writing because most of our work is written. And if you go and join a big law firm or even a medium-sized law firm, very often at the beginning of your legal careers, all you have to do is write. You read, you research, and then you write. You write memos, you write emails, you write due diligences, you write whatever your senior lawyers or partners need you to write. You have very little client contact. So all of those speaking exercises that you've been practicing, largely not important at the beginning of your careers. Those presentation skills or those negotiation skills that you've been learning from business soft skills books or from even legal English course books, not needed at the beginning of your careers mostly. So if writing is the most important thing, what should you do? You should of course get the focus right. Concentrate on your writing. And I know that this is difficult because lots of legal English course books and lots of legal English courses don't allow you to practice this skill. So this means that you're on your own. So you can, for example, have a look at my online course, which is now available on Patreon, and you can self-study that course, or if you're lucky enough to have access to a law department at a university that teaches writing skills, go and check that out. Of course, because writing is a skill that takes time, you need to develop this skill not just as quickly as possible, but you need to start as quickly as possible. So it's a huge time investment, it's a huge energy investment, it's a huge test of your willpower. It's not something, unfortunately, that you can just improve in a few days. There are certain guidelines you can start using which will help you make improvements straight away, but the process of learning how to write in a plainer style, in a more communicative style, is something that takes time. Now, I fully understand that your exposure to legal English might not reflect that. And I understand that. You watch a Hollywood film, Hollywood shows people talking about law. I can't think of a Hollywood film where it shows a lawyer writing and writing and writing and writing. That would be, let's face it, a pretty dull film about law. But unfortunately, the reality is that hours and hours of writing and drafting and redrafting and checking and revising and drafting again and amending. This is the bread and butter of most young lawyers' work at the beginning of their careers. And of course, if you develop your writing skills at the beginning of your careers, it means that you are much more likely to communicate successfully. Therefore, you're much more likely to move up the chain of hierarchy and hopefully make a success of your legal careers. Okay, with that being said, getting your priorities correct, working on your writing first, one way that you can help yourself to do this is by having a look at my free legal English exercises, particularly the plain English redrafting tasks that I ask you to do every single week. You'll see videos on YouTube, LinkedIn, Patreon, or indeed on Facebook every Tuesday and on Friday, and a short video that I put out every Wednesday, which help you to improve your writing skills. And as I said earlier on, if you want to do my online course, you can do. Check out my course on Patreon. There's a link below this video.